What's up, fragrance connoisseurs? I'm Charm City.
Nate the Great.
We're here to talk today about some hype fragrances that we saw on YouTube. We bought them, and now we're just going to let you know whether it was worth the hype or should you do a hard pass. So just sit back, relax, stay tuned for station identification, and we'll get started right after this. All right, fragrance connoisseurs, we're back. And today, again, we're going into a few of the hype fragrances that we've seen on YouTube, and we've bought them ourselves. And we're going to give you our unbiased, totally paid for out of our own money viewpoint. We're going to get started with
Tony Iommi Monkey Special from Jerjoff.
all right.
So you're gonna get a rum, boozy, leather, sweet. You're gonna get dried fruit, and it's gonna dry down with a musk. So this is worth the hype. It lasts well over 12 hours on my skin. I sprayed it on last night, and I woke up and I was still getting remnants of it throughout the day till about 2 o'clock. Women love it. It's a bad boy fragrance. Everybody needs bad boy fragrance. And every time I wear it, drives women crazy.
All right. So in that one, we're saying that that is worth the hype. Next one we're going to come into, and it's gotten a lot of hype, is S-Boy by Draco. So S-Boy has gotten a lot of hype from a lot of YouTubers, and it is one that in actuality is hard to get a sample of, but you have to buy it directly from them. It runs $250. I think I bought this one on May 31st. I bought it on the Memorial Day weekend. There was a Memorial Day, $25 off, and then using a YouTuber code, I got another $35 off. So I paid approximately $190. What I can say about it is I didn't want to make a rash decision. I held it for a while and I tried to let it macerate a little bit, and I just did not get the performance out of it. It stops and becomes a skin scent in 90 minutes or less. The performance is well below average, and it has more of a designer feel than a niche feel. I wanted to like it. I bought into everyone saying that it was a great fragrance, and I tell you, it just doesn't perform. It's got a pretty nice, it's a designer, mass appealing scent. It has iris, it's powdery, it has coconut, it has amber, and it has a lot of the fruitiness in it, and the lemon, the coconut. It does have a nice designer type feel. Is it worth $190? I don't think so. Don't believe the hype. What I can tell you is that Nate the Great and I went out, and he was wearing Coral Fantasy. I was wearing S-Boy. Across the table, I smelled more of his Coral Fantasy than I did of the S-Boy I was wearing, and I sprayed 10 sprays of it, knowing that it was a kind of lighter fragrance. And I was so mad that day that the next day I went and bought Coral Fantasy. So
Yo, he was hot.
I just, and at this point, we got a bottle. I sprayed enough of it. I want to see what everybody else says. If you put in a comment in about it, if you want to try a sample for yourself, I'm going to decant 2 mils of it, and we're going to send it out to 5 people. And all that we want is definitely, we'll put the Instagram account to send it to in our description. We also just want you to like the video, of course. And the last thing we want you to do is definitely come back to this video and put in what your thoughts are. I don't just want it to be that it's my word against somebody else's word. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm not going after any YouTuber. All I'm saying is that it did not last on my skin. And to me, it smells more designer than niche. And there, it's not worth $190. That's what I paid for it. But you could pay $250. What I can say is it gives you a John Paul Gaultier type feel. And if you want GPG, then JPG, then just get John Paul Gaultier. Or if you want a niche, more mature equivalent version of JPG, I would say try Jerjoff's Commandante. It's going to last 10 hours on your skin. It's definitely going to perform. It gives you a more mature type sweet bad boy feel. I would say use this. If you like the powderiness and you want something else that will work well, Electamus Vixia. It's going to give you an orange creamsicle type vibe, and it definitely has a powdery note to it. This one lasts for days on clothes, and it will give you 8 to 10 hours on skin. And if you really just want the iris itself, you can't go wrong with Dior Homme Intense. These are three that are going to be cheaper than S-Boy and is actually going to last longer and be a better value. Okay, guys, the next one we're going to get into is Gin Tonic. Gin Tonic is another one that's been hyped up lately, and I would definitely say it's worth the hype. I like it. It gives you a nice Tom Collins type feel, and it has the opening that has the lime, the ginger, the tonic, the gin. It has an amber base and a moss and a vetiver base to it that dries down, but it also is a little sweet. This one is definitely worth the hype. I use it a lot when I travel. It was a summer staple that I had, so I definitely say it's worth the hype. Nathan, did you want to put anything on it as far as your take on it?
Yeah, you're definitely on there with that Tom Collins feel. To me, it's not as metallic, but Jennifer Wade Silver kind of goes that same gin tonic way.
End of the road is Micallef. Gin Tonic is definitely worth the hype. Go to your next one.
Coral Fantasy. So right off the top, I get the red apple, I get the cardamom, and I get a touch of clary sage with the lavender. And then you get of course the tobacco. So this, in my opinion, is the best tobacco fragrance that a designer's ever made. It lasts 9 to 12 hours on skin easy. And the projection, as you see, it engulfs his little F-boy thing, whatever you want to call that. Sorry.
It was definitely Little Soldier Boy as far as performance. It was the little Soldier Boy.
Yeah. He's going down in fragrance like he did in his rap career.
Oh, that was tough. That was...
Am I wrong?
Okay. As a disclaimer, we would like to say that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and no hip hop artists were hurt during the making of this video.
But this is definitely worth the hype. I recommend every man to get this. I wore this at work, and all the women that work with me in my area, they'll just say, somebody smells amazing. So
there you go. So Coral Fantasy is worth the hype. The next one is Givenchy and his Gentleman Reserve Privé. It didn't have the name on the front, but it is Gentleman Reserve Privé. This one came out in late 2022. Definitely worth the hype. It's definitely nice and powdery. It has an iris. It's got chestnut. Those are the main things that come out to me. I know it's got woodsy notes in it, but the iris and the chestnut really stick out. I really like this a lot. I just was able to get this off of discounters probably towards the end of of the winter season, so I haven't used it a whole lot. But when I have used it, I like it a lot. It lasts 6 to 8 hours. It is a designer. It is a little lighter, but you can spray enough on your clothes to help keep it lasting. But the fragrance itself is a mass appealing fragrance that I actually believe is worth the hype. And I was glad that I added to my collection.
Well, how's the silage on it?
The sea odds is pretty good. It has good projection in sea odds. That's an inside joke when we talk about silage, but it has a above average sea odds to it as well. All right, we're going to the last one. This is one that I've seen that has been hyped up. And a few people have talked about it by Maresque. This is Soul Boutique. And this one is a really interesting amber fragrance. So I've gotten this off of discounters. I've waited for this as well. And this one has amber, but it also has pink pepper and it has cardamom. It's a different type amber fragrance. It's not one that I smelled before. It's a bit spicy, and it is in the Middle Eastern feel. And as you've known from a lot of my videos, I like Middle Eastern fragrances. So I do like this one. A few people have hyped it up. It has not performed as well. Now it's lasted 2 to 3 hours as far as the sillage and projection. I'm hoping that with maceration that it'll do a little bit better. It lasted 5 to 6 hours on my skin. I think that that's decent. It's not a beast mode as in some of the other ones that we may have talked about, but this one is decent, and it's not one that I think is for the money. I think I paid right around 150 at the discounters. So I will follow up to make sure the price of that. But it is a very good distinctive amber scent, and I think it definitely has more than just a designer feel. It smells niche, it smells quality, and I would say that this one is worth the hype that has been given from some of the YouTube videos that I've seen in the past. So there you have it, guys. These are the latest fragrances that we have purchased ourselves, that we give you our interpretation of whether it's worth the hype or not. Again, with the S-Boy fragrance that we said is not worth the hype. If you want your own 2 ml sample, I'm going to give it out to 5 people randomly. If you leave a comment and if you go to our Instagram DM and DM us, and then we'll send it out. But all that we want from you is to make sure that you leave a comment on your thoughts on it, whether you agree that the performance is poor, whether you agree that it smells more designer than niche. We want to know your thoughts. All right, guys, so that's our video for today. We wanted to talk about the hype fragrances and what our thoughts are on it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless.